People get discouraged a lot when it comes to making progress, especially when it comes to exercise and either losing weight, gaining muscle, whatever the goal is. People get discouraged because a lot of times the progress is not linear, and the way that progress is expressed in different fashions, be it social media, online, whatever it may be, kind of skews people's perception of how it really is going to be. What's up, dreamers? Welcome to John Vibe, and today I want to talk about progress. Progress is very important. Understanding how progress works is very important. I'm going to start out with an example. In 2017, I started my health and wellness journey by going to the gym, working out. My goal was to build some muscle. It took 8 months for me to actually see any muscle, okay? But I was still making progress behind the scenes. Regardless of at what point I was able to see my muscle, I definitely was getting stronger. I could tell because the weight was increasing. My ability to put weight was increasing. I felt better. I had more energy. My brain fog started to diminish. I was able to remember more things. So there was a ton of benefits that I wasn't focused on, but were there, and because I was, focused on gaining weight. And at the time, there's several times where I almost gave up, but luckily I had people who, would tell me this over and over. Like the one guy that I used to work out with, he was a cop, and he said it took him a year and 1 month or so, something like that, to actually build muscle, for him to see muscle. He was scrawny like I was at the time, and I was like, wow, okay. And he said, just keep pushing through, and you will see progress, right? You just gotta keep at it. And so that the progress is not linear, and it really never is. So it is important for people to realize that the progress you're making is, and what do I mean by linear? If you don't know what linear means, I don't even know the definition of that. But think of a graph and how a graph would go straight up, and like a graph would go straight up. That would be linear, whatever. I'm not a mathematician, but progress really, it goes up and down. Like there's gonna be weeks where you maybe aren't, able to work out. There's gonna be days where you aren't able to work out. You're gonna miss some days. It is what it is. Life happens, right? But as long as you're still embarking on the journey, even if you miss days and stuff, you are not losing progress. The body doesn't forget. So we have to keep that in mind. Very, very important. Another thing is there's this misconception about weight. Like if you have never worked out before, if you change your diet and you see that you are losing weight, especially people who go keto, you see that you are losing weight, carbohydrates hold quite a bit of water. So you're going to be losing water weight at the beginning. And people see the drop in weight very quickly, and they're like, oh wow, I'm making good progress, this is fantastic. But nobody tells them that weight's going to come back, because the body has to equalize itself. So it's going to bring that water back and retain it, even though you have switched. You may have leaned out from losing some weight. You might not even be able to see it, especially when you're seeing yourself every single day. It makes it difficult, right? But the scale's going to say something different. And then, just the way you're eating, it has to even itself out. And if you lost water weight, the body is going to start to retain that water regardless. It's going to find somewhere to store it, okay? And that is something that people don't talk about. So like a lot of people will lose weight in 2 weeks or something. They'll lose like 5 pounds, and they'll gain it all back the next 2 weeks, whatever, because the body, even though they have made progress, the body has to equalize itself. Maybe not even 5 pounds back, whatever it may be, 2 or 3 pounds. I mean, it's like, that's how the body works. So scale is also, I don't condone using the scale. I would never tell people to use a scale very often, just because of that exact thing. It kind of tricks your mind into thinking that either you've made more progress than you did, or you're not, or it's just not accurate, especially if you're changing the time of day when you are weighing yourself, or if you're changing what you're wearing, or if you decide to wear shoes one day, if you keep your phone in your pocket one day. I mean, all these factors add up. I know some of that stuff doesn't weigh very much, but it does, it adds up. So it's important for us to understand how progress works, so that we do not get discouraged, we do not feel burnt out, or we do not feel as though we are not making any progress. Because you are. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments. I'd love to get the conversation started. Hit that like button, help the channel, hit that subscribe button for more content like this, and I hope to see everybody in the next video. Later, dreamers.